I think that's our fridge. Is that the fridge?
It's the refrigerator.
Wow! Exciting day!
Everyone's gonna think it's cold, but it's like 105 degrees.
Oh, because you're wearing a hoodie? Yeah, I know.
It does not come with a faceplate.
What's a faceplate?
Thing that covers the front of the fridge.
Oh, it doesn't? Maybe that's why it was so discounted. Anyway, it's going right here. A lot of people put small sinks in their van, which makes sense because it's such a small space. Not us though. I mean, luckily this whole half of it is, there's no basin under that part. That's just like the dish drying rack part. So theoretically it's not that huge, but it is kind of ridiculous. But when we last left Matt, he was cutting the holes for the induction cooktop and the sink. So let's check it out. Damn.
Sink's in. Fridge is going in now.
That's a kitchen if I've ever seen one. I think it's so funny that we got a full-size sink.
We love doing dishes.
I was like, oh, maybe we could justify it because we have to bathe the dogs in it. As if we couldn't just like bathe them with a hose outside of the van. / we also never bathe them.
Truth.
Alright, let's do this fridge framing. In order to attach the fridge to the under counter space, you need to be able to open the door fully. And in order to open the door fully, you need clearance to open the door. So we had to
Guess what? It wasn't easy.
take apart this bench, even take apart the last leg of the bed so we could slide it open and then drill the 2 holes into the wood so that way it wouldn't go anywhere when we're driving. But it's in! And it looks pretty good. What are we doing?
Going to look at tile.
We're going to the handcrafted tile store, but they're only open Monday through Friday, so we have to go before work. We took a week off while my in-laws were here. They made a ton of progress, as you probably saw in the last video, but I probably wasn't really in it. So I had a nice break. It's weekend number 2, back at it again. And we bought tile yesterday, so we took you to the store. We'll have to give you an update here shortly. We're gonna go rent a tile cutter, get at it, and right now Matt's working on the plumbing. Oh no. It sounded really bad. So what are we gonna do?
That it's sealed up top.
Oh. Do we have the right size hole?
Well, I have a 2-inch,
Saw?
but I don't know if that's gonna work.
What size are the puck lights?
It said approximately 2.4-inch circle saw.
Oh yeah, that's right. An impossible size.
Which I don't know. I mean, it's 2. If anyone knows where you can get 2.4-inch circular bit.
Hole saw. Look who knows her power tools now. We started doing some of the decorative features in the van, which is very exciting. We picked up some tile. We're going for an extremely rustic look. So I almost don't want to show you yet because I think the after effect will be better. But we didn't buy enough tile. So we rented a tile cutter from Home Depot, had to return it, and we're gonna have to do it all over again tomorrow. So yeah, we have a very messy slat bed setup. We picked out some fabric. It's like a very subtle Mexican blanket vibe. Picked out some more fabric for our seat cushion. So we're doing a little L bench here. And then we have the fridge installed. Our faceplate for it should come soon. Today?
Yep.
Today. And then we bought this piece of wood. Once we build this wall here, it will come out as like a folding table.
Yes.
As you can see, it's extremely clean in here. Back to the van. Here's a puck light. Here's Matt. Here's Matt drinking coffee. Here is the backside of a puck light. And here is a quick preview of the tile. I said I wasn't going to show you, but I edited the video and already showed you. Voila. Christmas came early.
Very early.
Whoa. You want to put it in the van?
Put it in the van. Now the question is getting in. But
Snug as a bug.
snug as a bug in your rug.
The battery died yesterday. Or whenever we left off. I don't even remember now. But the tile situation. Probably should have done more research. Matt has now left it to me to finish. He has other things to work on. The grout situation is super messy, so I gotta use some heavy duty stuff to try and clean it up. And then I think we're gonna switch from a sanded grout to a sanded caulk. And it's gonna come out like a caulk, out of the caulking gun, and hopefully that will allow for easier application. Wish us luck. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Inside the Editor's Studio with Mel. I'm going through all of the clips, and And I am telling you, it is almost easier to do videos more frequently so that you don't lose track of the clips you have. So in today's lesson, take an inventory. Sorry, she was scratching my back. I don't know why. What do you want? All right. Anyway, the tips that I have are take inventory, upload footage frequently so that way you kind of know where your storyline is going in an ideal world, or just do something silly like this and fill in all the gaps that everyone missed. There are a few hiccups that we wanted to report on so that no one gets confused or makes the same mistakes we did. So the three big things that happened in this week's video that we had to correct but did not get on film were: one, we thought we got a smoking deal on an RV fridge from Dometic. We actually bought the wrong one. So our goal was to not have any propane in the van, so we went with an induction cooktop. And there was supposed to be an RV fridge for the van that just ran off of power. Turns out the one that we got runs off of power and gas, so it is what it is. Shipping was going to be like $300 to try to return it, so we're keeping it, and we're just going to keep 2 small propane tanks, but it is a fridge built for RVs, so there isn't going to be like a health issue. The second thing that we did was, I said we had to switch the type of grout that we used. We used an unglazed tile, so normally you spread the grout on and then you're able to wipe it off. Not the case with Terra Cotta tile. Looks really cool. We tried to switch to a sanded caulk grout. Not a good idea. It was too dark, and then the other half to have this mismatched caulk instead. So we just covered all of that caulk with the sanded grout, buffed the whole thing over. Then the last thing that we did was we had several shipping issues. So there were a lot of parts that we ended up having to return, so we don't bother to film that. Renogy is probably one of the biggest suppliers in a lot of people's fan videos for their inverter charger. We ordered it probably the end of June, and they had customer service issues that have just been getting worse and worse. I really hope they get it figured out. But Matt spent almost 8 hours on the phone, and every time he got from like number 40 in the queue down to number 2, they dropped the call. So we just had enough. They never responded. We called Chase and had them, we disputed the charge, and then we reached out and canceled our order, and we ended up getting a new inverter before this was even resolved. So all in all, we're super happy how it turned out. And in the end, we're really, really fortunate because we have some wiggle room in our budget, and I know that's probably really challenging for some people. And so I really hope that Renogy can get it figured out, because I think a lot of people are in the same position we are, waiting for responses and trying to figure out where their stuff is. And, you know, it's just hard to keep a very large purchase sitting on your credit card and not really knowing what's going to happen with it. So that is the conclusion of this week's episode of Inside the Editor's Studio. I feel like it's important to create a well-crafted story, and it's been like 3 weeks, and I'm like trying to piece all this footage together so it's not confusing for you, who is not actually a part of this process, but is spending your time listening to us rant. If you get through the video and you still have questions, pop them in the comments. I'm going to anticipate one more question. Was the wallpaper hard? The answer is no. It was actually the easiest thing we've done so far. I think it's actually easier to do wallpaper in a van because it's just strips and you roll them down and adhere them to the wall as you go and you align it. And because we weren't using like the top or the bottom, there wasn't as much pressure for everything to be like perfectly square and straight. So I actually think it was easier. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll get back to your regularly scheduled programming. Hello. We ran some errands this morning. It's almost monsoon season here in Phoenix, so the humidity's gone up quite a bit. We haven't had a full-blown thunderstorm or rain, so that'll make finishing the build very fun, but we're very close. The challenging part, and I had a full-blown meltdown about this, I definitely overreacted. The tile we got is challenging. It's unglazed, so grouting it is like an absolute nightmare. There's a 0 minutes flashing. I'm wondering if that means the memory card is full. Anyway, let's go see if I can squeeze in a tiny bit of footage of what Matt's doing. All right, how's it going in here? Ooh.
Thinking. That's the card battery.
Yeah. I knew you said it was up there. I just hadn't seen it yet.
What's up? So, just finished wiring the inverter. I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek.
So here we are. This is our whole system. We have our 2 battle-worn batteries. This is our negative or ground bus bar, and then we have our positive. It is tight spaces. I realize this is probably not that well organized. This is a master on-off switch, and this goes to this negative bus bar. This is a huge fuse right here from our inverter, which is right here. 2000 watt inverter and charger. And then, I don't know if you can see, but over in here, underneath the hot wall, up there is our shore power, and then the out right here is for the AC power. That's pretty much all we have right now. This little guy is our solar. We got our little bus bar that has all our fuses in there. And yeah, that's where we're at for electrical right now. I have this Sterling battery-to-battery charger that's going to be on this side just because I didn't think it could fit right there, and I think it was right. So yeah, all coming along. And we also got our custom mattresses dropped off today to get upholstered. So good news all around.
It is cloudy today. Hi, hello. We haven't filmed for like the last good chunk of progress. So we actually bought a few things here and there so that way we could take a trip relatively soon. So we just started to put some of the stuff in the van. We're gonna have to take it out because we're gonna have to drill more holes to finish some of the cabinet doors and things like that. But we just wanted to benchmark how much storage we're using so far with just like the few things that we wanted to keep in the van. And I, for sure, straightened my hair just a little bit. So this is not my natural bed head. This is like a refined bed head. And if you're the kind of person that does your hair and pretends like you woke up like that, it's not nice. Don't do it. Back to the van. Get ready for this. We have a pantry and wallpaper and storage baskets and cushions that make a queen mattress and a fridge and a stove and a sink with running water and a backsplash and more storage, and it's really just coming along, friends. So crazy exciting. Matt is a true hero, jack of all trades, has become our electrician, our plumber. I have tried my very best to be able to learn how everything works. That way both of us can be helpful in the process of trying to fix things if we're ever on the road and things go wrong. I still have a little bit to learn, obviously. But we'll keep this pretty brief to try to wrap up this week's video. But this is our grout and tile. That gave me such a headache. It turned out really cool. We still have to touch up a few spots here on the window frame because what ended up happening was we had to buff off a lot of the excess grout. We used an acid cleaner and it was just so messy in here. You can see there are still grout spots that I need to clean up. And there's actually a pretty good stain here from the spray bottle that had the acid cleaner, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Maybe nothing, we'll see. But, you know, perfectly imperfect. I have learned to embrace all of the hard work that we did, and I ended up actually loving the outcome, but I just had a really stressful week, and I took it out on this poor tile, but you know, it's good. It's good to us. So real quick, Da-da-da-da. Oh, I have to turn on the power, I guess. Okay, everything's on. We're just out of water, so no big deal. But we'll get some footage of that at some point to prove that it's working. Oh, to be an amateur vlogger. I just shot like a whole minute of wrap-up footage and I didn't hit record. I think where I left off was showing you a couple of other installs that we didn't get to. We have a fan. This is actually not just because we live in Arizona, but there's no air conditioning in the back of the van. Hey! You scared me. Good morning. I'm giving a tour so I can finish the video.
Nice.
I know that. Your hair looks really good. Let me finish telling them about the fan and then we can give the rest of the tour because I just recorded like a wrap up and I didn't hit record. We love it so far, but it's adjustable. You can spin it. Very helpful for the small space. And then we have the 2 bunk windows, which you already know were such a pain for us, but we'll get a cross breeze from those. We have this fan, and then we can pull air in or out from the max air fan that's in the front. And then the AC is just the AC in the front of the van. There's no AC unit back here. How's that bench system?
Nice.
So the cushions that Matt's sitting on are the 3rd row that can go along the countertop for the queen size mattress. So the way it works is this system pulls out, meets the countertop level. This is part of the mattress, and then that cushion and this cushion make the middle row. Add these 3 cushions that Matt's on right now and line them along there to fill out the full queen size bed. We also went to the Container Store and tried to find some soft baskets because nothing is perfectly square. We wanted them to be a little flexible, and there's still some extra storage behind them. We also have this cute basket here that we got from local Nomad. It's handmade by an artist in Kenya. They're super cool. She has them all over the store right now. We just figured we'd put some on-the-go stuff here and just attached it to the existing hook. Now we can sign off. Actually overheated. But we will see you, hopefully, maybe next week. I'm not making any more promises about video frequency anymore. But have a good week. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button so we know you saw it. Leave us a comment. I don't know if anyone knows this, but when you have a YouTube channel, who watches your video? So leave us a comment, let us know that you're following along. We super appreciate the support, and if you have any ideas, put them in the comments below and we'll get back to you.
Later.